Hello, I want to thank everybody for joining us for today's live webinar entitled Accelerate Your Submission Content Preparation, Opportunities in Technical Compliance. Today's session is brought to you by Astrix, and we'll go through some introductions of who our speakers are going to be in just a moment. And we can go to the next slide, do a quick introduction of Astrix. I won't go into too much detail on us, but I do at least want to give you a sense of who we are relative to the content today. We are predominantly a technology consulting firm that works exclusively in the life science sector. We have been doing so for the better part of 28 years, a little bit longer than that actually. We bring a very unique blend of very specialized strategic and technical services, process and technology to bear for companies. Over 90% of the employees that work for Astrix hold advanced scientific degrees. We're very much a science-based company that helps other science-based companies with their technology needs. And again, we've been doing so since 1995. That's just a little bit about who Astrix is. We bring together thought leaders from throughout the community in the form of these webinars and have been doing so for many years. It's a very popular YouTube channel with all of our webinars on it. So again, we're very pleased that you came to join us today. If it's your first one, welcome. If you're a returning visitor, we thank you very much for coming back to listen to us again. So with that, let me go ahead and turn things over to our speakers for today. We go to the next slide. I'll do a couple of quick introductions here of our speakers. First up is going to be Laszlo Rivnyak. He's a business analyst and key account manager at DACS. Gabriella Varga, business analyst as well. I'll let them, certainly finish their own introductions. But I'm going to sit back, enjoy the presentation just as everybody else is, and I'll come back on at the end to help with wrap up and again with any questions. So Gabriella, I think you're going to kick us off, so I'm going to sit back and enjoy it.
Yes, thank you very much for the introduction, and welcome everyone who joined today's webinar about the possible acceleration of submission content preparation. My name is Gabriella Varga, and I've been part of the IT industry since 2009. I began my career on the IT support side as a help desk agent, and I gradually advanced through various roles, including subject matter expert, coach, and data analyst. Actually, 3 years ago, I made the transition from support to development when I joined this company, and well, now I serve as the business analyst for DACHS on-track product. And I think before we dive into the content, I'd like to hand it over to my colleague Laszlo, who will introduce himself, and the two of us will be guiding you through this webinar today. Laszlo, over to you.
Thank you, Gabriella. My name is Laszlo Rivnyak, and I have over 20 years of experience in the field of information technology, along with a strong background in development. I've been involved in healthcare IT for more than a decade now, and actually I'm working in the realm of life science document management, addressing word formatting issues as a business analyst and a key account manager for the DACHS on-site product. Well, anyway, do you know the joke? What's the document author's favorite type of exercise? Well, it's cross-referencing. Okay, and why are we here today? We will show methods for saving time and reducing the risk of non-compliance. You will learn that preparing document content and validating Word and PDF files against regulatory guidelines can be accomplished much earlier in the submission process. You will also understand that many of the submission-specific checks and fixes can be automated today. But first of all, let's see what the content preparation process looks like in general. Regulatory content preparation is one of the most complicated document management workflows I've ever seen. On this slide, you can see a very simplified outline of it, focusing on the authoring and validation steps in order to achieve a technically compliant submission. Authoring involves manual work with Word files. While some structured content management tools are already available and can assist in incorporating necessary elements from different sources into your document, the responsibility for ensuring technical compliance ultimately rests with the author. It's also important to distinguish between two sublevels of this stage: one where a document is created from scratch, and another when an existing document needs to be updated. Review or quality control is usually performed manually using extensive checklists. However, some automation is typically available to reviewers, often in the form of do-it-yourself Word macros or professional Word add-ins. Before the approval, the author is responsible for updating or correcting the document based on the reviewer's comments. Dossier preparation involves rendering, PDF creation, and assembling all documents. The draft published dossier must be validated before finalization. And here, if issues are detected, we may need to revert and rerun time-consuming steps and potentially start over from the beginning. The goal remains to complete this process as efficiently as possible by meeting all the regulatory requirements. However, the process involves many manual and repetitive steps. Unfortunately, there is still no guarantee of any flawless result. The most straightforward solution would be a time-saving tool that enables rapid document authoring and early technical validation. This would allow for corrections to be made before they become problematic. One of the most significant and influential factors in a medical writer work is submission timeline. This is getting shorter and shorter. Although we heard rumors within professional circles suggesting that by questioning and addressing certain authorities' requirements, some have managed to negotiate with the authorities, resulting in exemptions from certain requests and thus reducing the documentation needed for submission. However, this is certainly not feasible in the vast majority of cases. Furthermore, as the work continues to accelerate in every aspect, we must be prepared to produce and submit the same volume of documents in even less time. The task and goal seems to be clear now, but how can they actually be achieved? During the submission, not only is the content of the document important, but also its compliance with the technical requirements, as this is a crucial factor in the approval process. Despite this, many still consider technical compliance less important than the content. And why are we focusing on this now? Well, because these requirements are very hard to fulfill manually, can be easily automated, and of course, as I said, are crucial for a successful submission. Technical compliance involves fulfilling all formatting, linking, and referencing requirements set by both the agencies and the pharma company itself. Industry standards help, of course, to simplify the review and approval process for new medicines or devices. Well-defined authoring process ensure that content is presented in accordance with all these standards. While the final documents are typically in PDF format, the content is created and edited using traditional authoring tools like Microsoft Word. To ensure that the PDF is compliant, the Word document needs to be prepared in a very specific way. When done correctly, and of course with the right tools, generating the final PDF for regulatory submissions become much simpler, significantly reducing or even eliminating the risk of rejection due to any technical issues. If it's not done properly, annoying technical issues can ruin our deadlines. Ensuring that regulatory guidelines are followed in every single document is both challenging and often very, very time-consuming. Typically, much of the work is still performed by utilizing multiple tools to identify and correct specific issues. Common word issues that can lead to technical non-compliance are, for example, problems with font sizes, issues with heading numbering, linking problems, general formatting-related issues such as, for example, presence of track changes, or presence of comments, any empty pages left in the document, or incorrect table formatting. You can see the sample document, and in this document you may observe issues such as extra spaces in headings, presence of blue text that doesn't function as a link actually, unnecessary empty paragraphs, or floating images that overlap the text. At the another part of this document, the document contains additional frequently occurring issues like comments that is accidentally left in the document, heading out of sequence, and table not aligned to page margins. Of course, we could continue identifying and listing word issues for the rest of the day, and indeed, spend countless hours locating and correcting them. However, we would still be uncertain whether the document is completely error-free. Some issues can cause problems during converting Word files to PDFs. Gabriella, could you please provide further details?
Yes, so sure. Thank you, Laszlo, for passing it to me. Well, as we all know, final documents are submitted in a PDF format. However, if we are not fully careful, we might unintentionally introduce landmines or hidden issues that can cause significant problems during the PDF rendering process, potentially leading to a rejected submission. So what are the common sources of PDF creation errors? They often stem from floating images or embedded objects, page or margin inconsistencies, maybe a large number of unused bookmarks in the document, or broken internal links or cross-references, remaining instructions, hidden texts, or comments. The good news is that with modern automation tools, you can identify these issues directly in the source Word document, allowing you to address them early on. The remediation is in your hands. Thanks to this, you can avoid extra steps in your internal review and approval process. Well, on this slide, I listed some typical problems in PDF files. The guidelines from authorities apply strict expectations related to the layout of the submitted PDF documents. These requirements represent some purely technical demands. On this slide, along with the next one, I can assist in preparing your, let's say, PDF checklist. As you can see on this slide here, there are possible issues with, for example, first page and orientation, PDF protection, watermark-related problems, PDF property-related issues, and PDF technical settings like the version, the web view, and the file size. And the list continues on the next slide with further issues like, are there any blank pages? Is there any blue text that is not hyperlinked? Are all fonts embedded? I'm sure you will agree that tracking down and resolving all the technical issues in a PDF document is one of the most challenging tasks a QA can face. Moving on, Laszlo will walk us through the next session. Over to you, Laszlo.
Authoring a document is definitely a challenging task. Even if you have the entire content in place, there are a lot of additional formatting steps ahead. Using the correct template and incorporating content from external sources into the appropriate sections of the document still involves many additional tasks. You need to verify or reformat all lists, tables, figure and table captions. Additionally, you must ensure that text formatting is applied using styles rather than manual character or paragraph formatting. Templates can assist with proper formatting only if the document components are created using the expected styles. Copying parts of the document from external sources often introduces new styles that can complicate formatting. It's clear that one could extend this list for hours. These repetitive, complicated, time-consuming tasks cry out for a supporting tool, otherwise the risk of refusal will be unacceptably high. Being a QC reviewer can be even more challenging. As positioned near the end of the authoring process, the time pressure is always high. With documents exceeding 100 pages and checklists with over 50 items, manually identifying all issues is like finding a needle in a haystack. Overlooking one single issue can easily lead to the rejection of the entire submission. So one might ask, how can you make a QC reviewer happy? Well, provide them with a style guide, a checklist, and an extension on the deadline, of course. While I cannot arrange for deadline extensions, we have much better ideas. The primary and most accessible solution for achieving technical compliance is to use a well-designed set of document templates. Using templates is an efficient and cost-effective approach, and they can also be developed from a well-crafted sample. One can easily collect these standards from elements of your company. However, keep in mind that the templates need to be updated to remain compliant. It's important to mention that using the clipboard for copy-pasting can inject new destructive styles into your document. There are also several challenges associated with using Word templates that should also be considered. For example, updating a large volume of existing documents, or the templates themselves, of course, requires significant effort. Only experienced users of Word are typically able to work exclusively with templates to ensure that the Word documents are ready for submission. Repetitive formatting steps can be tedious and may lead to hard-to-find problems, of course. Let's see the next level. The next level of tools for addressing Word issues and achieving technical compliance is recording custom operations in dedicated program code. Microsoft Word includes an integrated development environment supporting this. Any Word function, such as creating, formatting, or searching document content, can be automated using Visual Basic macros. Recording and replaying a sequence is pretty straightforward. Additionally, if a well-developed macro with extensive medical document writing functions is available, extensive word experience is not required. Certainly, macros have their own set of drawbacks as well. So let's explore some of the potential disadvantages now. For example, the implementation of various tools with macros to help issue identification is pretty complex. Moreover, maintenance and management of these tools, even when developed in-house, can become really expensive. And macro code execution may be slow and unstable due to the architecture and may not handle large documents effectively during complex processes. Additionally, macros are often associated with viruses or harmful functions, which is frequently triggers alerts from virus scanners and may prevent macro execution. Next step is Word add-ins, which provide solid solutions for covering complex business processes, delivering excellent performance on large documents, and ensuring the highest level of security. They serve a wide range of functionality for medical writing, such as identifying and resolving issues, together with authoring functions to provide support in document content creation. Additionally, extensive Word experience is absolutely not required, as add-ins provide easy-to-use navigation options with the latest user experience. Tools are available that can check your document for both company-specific and external compliance issues. Deviations from guidelines can be identified, and certain tools have also the capability to address these issues, either individually or in bulk. Now let's see some examples of useful Word add-ins for document writers. For example, Perfected for consistency checking, EndNote and Zotero for reference and citation handling, DACHS tools for compliance verification and correction, and OnStyle, which is effective not only for authoring, but also for technical compliance verification and bug correction. We strongly recommend utilizing an automated tool that can verify and fix Word documents for compliance issues. Well, total automation might be the ideal solution, but achieving complete automation in content preparation process is likely impossible, as some issues will always require human intervention. Anyway, what does automatic batch validation mean? Automated workflows can check and correct multiple documents at the same time at a certain stage of the content lifecycle without any human involvement. The integration of automatic workflows can occur, for example, within PDF rendering systems, such as, for example, DocShifter, or content management systems like the well-known SharePoint. As the result of validation, a detailed and complete report can highlight problems that require human interaction.
Let's see, later in the process, when we deal with PDF files compiled from multiple Word documents, we can face further challenges. Beyond the issues originating from Word documents, new problems may arise in the PDFs themselves. Fortunately, there are several ways to detect, to filter, or to correct the issues in PDF files. Let's explore them. Adobe Acrobat is a well-known tool for modifying PDF documents, especially once you've identified the problem. There are also other tools and web browser plugins for QC professionals, which are especially useful to make annotations or corrections. And for finding issues in multiple PDF files, interactive, semi-automated batch validation options are available. A good example of it is OnTrack, the PDF validation tool. Finally, there are also automatic batch validation tools that can check and correct PDF issues. However, it's important to know that without human interaction, the range of fully automated corrections is somewhat limited. Well, we saw a list of automation possibilities in the validation and issue fixing. Now back to our simple process diagram. The idea is to add these new steps as early in the process as we can. Finding and fixing an issue right in the authoring phase instead of stepping into the review, reject, correct cycle can save time and cost to us. If the author has a tool to self-check the document against the most possible requirements, the chances of the document being rejected by the reviewer will be significantly lower. If the generated PDFs could be validated automatically right after the rendering, only some exceptional issues would remain for manual reviews at the final stage. So what do we need to achieve this? Well, an easy-to-use automated tool in Word to help the authors, and an automated PDF validation tool, which is for finding those issues that are specific to the PDF itself and cannot be checked and fixed in Word. And now I think, Laszlo, you can walk us through the next section about it.
Thank you, Gabriella. Authoring is the initial step in the process where issues may arise in the document. Therefore, it's crucial to address potential problems at this stage. This is the right place to start avoiding technical issues, but how can this be achieved, actually? Word is a complex tool with plenty of possible ways to create document elements. While this flexibility is extremely useful for document layout designers, due to the wide range of formatting options for lists and tables are offered, it can be really challenging for authors who must follow specific formatting requirements. A well-configured authoring tool, one that ensures that all authors follow the same requirements, can accelerate the authoring process and allow authors to focus on the content itself. Regulatory document authoring involves complying with countless rules and standards. Identifying and fixing issues during the writing process will improve the document's quality and save a significant amount of time in later steps. A QC checklist typically contains several items that can be easily automated. When automation is implemented, the list of findings is presented within some seconds. Many identified issues can be corrected automatically or, well, even manually with just using a few clicks. Different document types may require different sets of QC checks, so creating tailored checklists for each document type will significantly enhance efficiency. With automation, the time spent on QC will be greatly reduced, and the quality of the created PDF will be significantly improved.
Well, by automating validation steps earlier in the workflow, we can significantly reduce the risk of document rejection at any stage of the process. Individual checks might seem minor on its own, but let's consider the total number of checks applied to each document. Then multiply them by the number of documents authored, and with all the various versions created over time during its lifespan, I think it's evident that each minor automated step can save a significant amount of time during the content creation. So this approach enhances the overall efficiency of authoring and reviewing process, ensuring that available time is optimally dedicated to focusing on content quality and delivering fully compliant submissions on schedule. So how can you make a quality manager happy? Well, by providing a life science submission that's error-free, meets all the regulatory requirements, and even comes with donuts. Though we cannot offer donuts, we can certainly provide you with valuable tips for the challenges faced. Our solutions will help reduce the risk of compliance issues and speed up the authoring and QC process. Let's see some specific examples of authoring and QC issues along with our solutions for addressing them. Laszlo, over to you.
Thank you. And as you have noticed from the spoilers on the previous slides, OnStyle can significantly assist authors and QC reviewers in enhancing the quality and efficiency of their work. OnStyle itself is a Word add-in that, while currently customized for the life science industry, could also be useful in any other areas where many documents need to be created according to specific formatting requirements. It helps authors and QC reviewers efficiently create standard documents with the ability to check these standards at any time during the authoring or QC process. The question is, how is OnStyle capable of achieving all this? Well, by considering industry standards, it offers dozens of tools that ensure our documents, whether they are existing legacy documents or completely new ones created from scratch, meet the desired requirements. Integrated as an add-in with the Microsoft Word, it offers a user-friendly user interface. There is no need to open any additional third-party application. Document elements such as tables, figures, or lists can be inserted with just a few clicks. The add-ins functionality and all its tools, including the user interface, of course, can be fully and extensively configured following the company's and the health authority standards to ensure that items are always inserted in the required format. With just a few clicks, the entire formatting of the document can be changed, which is really useful when repurposing legacy documents. It simplifies tasks that once required really complex solutions. For example, standardized internal linking, complex header-footer management with preview capability, or automatic handling of non-standard styles. Of course, the list is much longer. All in all, the add-in provides useful features covering all areas of document handling, which helps in avoiding or correcting errors against the standards. The validation module that contains over 130 automated checks ensures that errors don't need to be manually searched for, which comes really handy in documents that maybe are several hundred pages long. The tool flags all instances of non-compliance with formatting and content-related standards. And let's see some examples. I think you can see on the screen as well. For example, formatting and styles errors, non-standard styles, linking anomalies. The tool provides help with abbreviation tables or hardware style references and easily identifies many other hard-to-find errors. The author or reviewer can easily navigate to these issues, comment them, or even immediately begin the correction. As previously mentioned, different types of documents require different types of checks. OnStyle addresses this need by providing easily configurable custom checklists. OnStyle also offers automated fixes for most potential errors, either for individual issues or by performing bulk corrections. Additionally, a report can be generated with all the issues found and all the corrections made. The complete list of checks and fixes can be found on the product's website. OnStyle is a carefully crafted tool that guides users through the document editing process. As you can see in the list, in addition to the previously mentioned authoring assistance and validation, it offers many other useful functions as well. Such a function is the maintenance and cleanup, like removing instructions, exporting comments, or exporting external references into Excel file. Another useful feature is, for example, the creation of an anonymized copy, which removes the identities of individuals associated with any comments and modifications within the document. The central management is also worth mentioning. It streamlines technical administration tasks. This feature comes really handy for companies with large number of users, as it facilitates the maintenance and installation of the add-in and speeds up the distribution of updates within the organization. Well, this is our solution for Word documents, and now I will ask Gabriella to give you tips for the PDF documents.
Thank you, Laszlo. As the counterpart of Word document validation, we need to validate PDF documents too, because in the rendering process, new problems can manifest themselves. Among the PDF validation options, I cited the interactive semi-automated batch validation mode and mentioned this good example named OnTrack, where OnTrack is our answer to the challenges of technically compliant PDFs. This solution supports pharma-specific validation of multiple PDF files at the same time. Let's see how OnTrack works. All you need to do is just upload your PDFs into the web application, and the validation starts immediately. In the bottom left corner, you can follow the status of the validation with status icons like in progress, passed, or failed. And if you select a process document, you can see its content in the preview tab in the center and its validation results in the validation result pane on the right. Validation results are grouped by categories, for example, pages, bookmarks, or hyperlink categories. And you will also find that the failed checks are always marked with an X icon. For each issue, you can see the page number where it is found on and an explanation. You can directly navigate to the page where it is found on and you can check the finding itself. If you have any comments or questions about a given issue, OnTrack offers commenting functionality, where once you have finished the validation review, you can download a comprehensive validation report and share it with the needed participants. OnTrack also gives you a wide range of flexibility to configure the so-called validation rules. In a workspace, multiple category folders can be created, and each and every folder can have their own specific validation rule set. Next to the automation of PDF validation, OnTrack also supports manual QCs, which are visible on the right-hand side of the screen now. And if you are interested, the list of validation rules can be downloaded on our product's website. And I think with this, we reached the end of our slides. But before we go on, let's just, in a nutshell, summarize today's key takeaways. First of all, there are effective techniques to save time, minimize effort, and reduce the risk of non-compliance. Early validation of both Word and PDF documents is advisable during the submission process. More importantly, there are advanced tools available on the market offering powerful automation capabilities with an abundant number of checks and fixes to eliminate deviations. We introduced all kinds of examples, for example, the last two, OnStyle and OnTrack. Well, with this, I think we can conclude, and we really appreciate your time and attention, and we hope that you found our webinar valuable. In case of any open questions, feel free to use the email address visible on the screen. Laszlo and I will be happy to answer any questions in writing. And we both thank you for attending our webinar. I think we always say goodbye and happy writing at the end of our...
Goodbye and happy writing.
Over to you, Kevin.
Great. Thank you so much, Gabriella and Laszlo. Great presentation. We'll go ahead and get a recording stopped.